Hi everyone, and in today's video we will be taking a look at 99 Wings of Fire related facts in honor of the series' 9th anniversary, regarding the best-selling book series, upcoming TV show, and beyond. Disclaimer. Please note that all of this information is as of July 1st, 2021, meaning much of it may soon be outdated or otherwise made or proven incorrect. Thank you. Additionally, for updates regarding this YouTube channel, or for information regarding the Wings of Fire TV series, please stay to the end of the video. Number 1. Wings of Fire, The Dragonet Prophecy, the first book in the series, released on July 1st, 2021. Exactly 9 years ago from today. Until The Poison Jungle, Wings of Fire books consistently released 6 months apart, one in the summer and one in the winter. 3. Wings of Fire was originally intended to only consist of books 1 through 5. 4. All of Wings of Fire, currently consisting of 25 stories, was written by Tui T. Sutherland and published by Scholastic. 5. Most Wings of Fire books average around 300 pages and 60,000 words. 6. All of the US cover variants for Wings of Fire were illustrated by Joy Ang. As for the non-US versions, I'll get to that later. 7. The Wings of Fire graphic novels are drawn by Mike Holmes. 8. Wings of Fire takes place on the continents of Pyria and Pantala, and according to ancient Nightwing calculations, they each take up roughly a third of the planet's surface. 9. However, only books 11 to 13 take place on Pantala, so it is kind of unfairly balanced towards Pyria. Number 10. Pyria and Pantala are both shaped like the typical dragons of their respective continents. Number 11. The Kingdom of Sand is the largest kingdom on Pyria. 12. Every 100 years, a phenomenon called the brightest night occurs, in which all 3 moons of Pyria are in the sky at the same time. 13. Pantala is shown to be slightly more technologically advanced than Pyria, using pages in traditional books rather than using scrolls, having significantly more efficient and larger structures, using greenhouses, working with glass, and even serving coffee. Pantala also has a currency called scales. They are made of metal and seem to have originated within the Hivewing tribe. In Book 11, The Lost Continent, they are used by Luna and her younger brother Blue to buy candy. 15. Wings of Fire consists of 14 books in the main series, broken up into arcs of 5. It has 2 legend stories which explore Pyrian history, graphic novel adaptations of the first 4 books, 4 short stories called Winglets, each about 80 pages or so, and 1 workbook called Forge Your Dragon World. 16. Every single Wings of Fire story is told from a different character's point of view, with the exception of certain prologues, epilogues, and the Legends titles, which each have 3 main revolving protagonists. 17. An official Wings of Fire coloring book is set to release on the 1st of March next year. Similarly, the 15th and possibly final book in the main Wings of Fire series is also due to release on the 1st of March 2022, with Luna as the protagonist. This breaks the trend of only having 1 point of view per tribe in an arc, as her sister, Blue, who is also a Silkwing like her, was the point of view of The Lost Continent, Book 11. The title of this book is still unknown. The cartoonist for the Wings of Fire graphic novels is Barry Dutch. His job is to lay out and organize the Wings of Fire stories into graphic novels. 20. The graphic novel adaptation of the 5th book in the series, The Brightest Night, releases December 7th this year. 21. Until the release of the Winglets Quartet last year, the 4th and thus far final Winglets story, Runaway, was only available via ebook, with the Winglets collection being the only way to get the first 3 in physical form earlier. On the note of the Winglets Quartet, there is a typo on its back cover, which mistakenly lists the character Fierce Teeth as named Fierce Tooth. 23. The wildlife in Wings of Fire is very much based on what we have here on Earth. including upsized plants and animals such as the Venus dragon trap. 24. All of the Wings of Fire books, with the single exception of Legends Dragon Slayer, are told from the points of view of dragons. Dragon Slayer is rather told from the points of view of humans, called scavengers by the dragons in-universe. 25. In Wings of Fire, dragons mature at a significantly different rate than humans, having the maturity of a teenager at age 4 or 5 years of age, and being considered adults by 7 or 9, depending on the tribe's culture and who you ask. 26. Despite not being confirmed to take place on Earth, Pyria follows a similar orbit and weather processes are near identical. There are even 365 days in a Pyrian year. 5 of the current dragon tribes in Wings of Fire are named based on their biome, being the Mudwings, Sandwings, Seawings, Icewings, Rainwings, and Leafwings. Hivewings might also be counted, but this is debatable because they have only lived in the hives for 50 or so years, since the Tree Wars. 28. In the present, there are 7 Pyrian and 3 Pantalan dragon tribes, the Pyrian ones being the Mudwings, Sandwings, Skywings, Seawings, Rainwings, Icewings, and Nightwings, whereas the Hivewings, Silkwings, and Leafwings live on Pantala. 29. 4 of the 10 modern dragon tribes can breathe fire, those being Mudwings, Sandwings, Skywings, and Nightwings. That's nearly half of the tribes. 30. Every Pyrian tribe lives or has lived in a kingdom that bears the tribe's name. These are the Mud Kingdom, the Kingdom of Sand, the Sky Kingdom, the Kingdom of Sea, which is really just the Bay of 1,000 Scales, the Rainforest Kingdom, the Ice Kingdom, and the Ancient Night Kingdom, which is currently the Talon Peninsula. 31. Silkwings and Hivewings are both insect-based, silkwings being butterfly-like and hivewings being like bees, cicadas, beetles, etc. 32. The Silkwing tribe is descended from the extinct Beetlewing tribe, and the Hivewings are descended from Clearsight, Beetlewings, and a tad of incest. This means that most of the dragons on Pantala are at least distantly related. 33. Silkwings and Hivewings both have 4 wings rather than the 2 wings of the other tribes because of their shared Beetlewing ancestry, as the Beetlewings also had 4 wings. 34. Silkwing and Beetlewing dragonettes are not born with their wings like the other tribes. Instead, they go through a 5-day process at age 6 called metamorphosis, in which they grow a chrysalis and do not emerge for 5 days. At the end of the process, they exit the chrysalis with silk-spinning abilities and 4 wings. 35. The chrysalis is also the name of a Silkwing resistance group working to break the Hivewing authoritarian rule. Their exact numbers are unknown, but the combined total of Jewel Hive, Wasp Hive, and Bloodworm Hive's respective chrysalises adds up to 200. Because there are 9 hives, one can multiply this figure by 3 to get 600 as the approximate number of members. 36. Because of their Beetlewing heritage, Silkwings and Hivewings were actually considered the same tribe until Queen Wasp's great-great-grandmother became queen and legally changed this. She also began the long-lasting racism and oppression towards Silkwings by the Hivewings. 37. Beetlewings and Leafwings are not actually native to Pantala, instead being refugees who fled from a Pyrian conflict, likely being the Scorching. 38. Before the Scorching, a major turning point in Pyrian and maybe even Pantalan history, the world was actually ruled by humans. However, 5,000 years before the main series, dragons overthrew humans in what became known as the Scorching. Humans pretty much went to Stone Age technology and began to live their ways. There is also a Wings of Fire guidebook in the works, to be called A Guide to the Dragon World. It is due to release September 1st, 2022, and is set to explore more of the Wings of Fire universe, including culture, in-universe lore, the history of Pyria and Pantala, and Tui has made a point of saying that this will finally cover the Scorching, which we've heard about since day 1 of Wings of Fire, but never really got much information on. 40. Some 50 years ago, Queen Wasp, the current Hivewing Queen, created a hive mind to control her species via injecting an intrinsically evil plant native only to the Pantalan poison jungle called the Breath of Evil into their eggs. Unbeknownst to her, though, the plant itself has a mind of its own, and is simply using Wasp as a pawn. 41. Before the Beetlewings and Leafwings arrived on Pantala, the conscience of the Breath of Evil, the Other Mind, ruled the continent via a hive mind, just like Wasp with her own tribe, but it could not originally control dragons. Because of this, it sent wave after wave of the continent's wildlife to attack the invaders, but eventually the dragons prevailed and uprooted the plant everywhere on the continent, except in the poison jungle, where it would wait for thousands of years, plotting its eventual return. 42. Queen Wasp acquired the Breath of Evil after the Leafwing Hawthorn attempted to poison her with it in a last-ditch attempt to prevent an all-out war. However, this backfired horribly, allowing Wasp to learn the secret of the plant and control her tribe, leading to a near-complete Leafwing genocide. As punishment for his miscalculation, the Leafwing Queen Sequoia banished him to find a cure. However, he himself fell under the control of the Other Mind and concocted a plan to control the entire continent. However, around half of the Leafwings and 200 Silkwings managed to escape to Pyria, led by Tsunami and Turtle. 44. Some Beetlewings and Silkwings are born flame silks, which means that rather than spinning normal silk out of their wrists, their silks can burn and produce light. There are multiple types and intensities of flame silk. Flame silk is passed down genetically, and it is said the offspring of a flame silk and a non-flame silk has a 50% chance of being a flame silk. 45. Ordinary silkwing and probably also ordinary beetlewing silk can be used to make paper for books. This is exploited by the hivewings after they run out of trees and wood to make paper with. 46. An exclusively Pyrian genetic ability is Animus Magic. Allegedly, Animus Magic allows Animus dragons to do virtually anything but revive someone. However, Animus Magic has a cost, as it slowly corrupts the user if it's used too much. 47. It is possible for an Animus dragon to make another dragon into an Animus via an enchantment. 48. Because of its massive role in Arc 2 and its overpowered nature, Tui has stated that Animus Magic will not play a role in the third arc of the series, and has thus far remained true to this. 49. Animus Magic almost certainly originated in the Icewing tribe, where it was methodically bred into the royal line. It ended up in the Seawing tribe via Prince Albatross, a Seawing Icewing hybrid, and in the Nightwing tribe the same way. It is unknown how the Sandwings acquired it. 50. The first known Sandwing Animus, Jerboa I, was pretty psychotic, so after leaving the entire Kingdom of Sand in shambles, she ran away to the coast and cloned herself. However, she killed her own daughter after it decided to have its own mind and started anew. For hundreds of years, she ruled her second daughter with an iron grip until finally Jerboa III executed her in a flashback in Book 14. After witnessing the destruction caused by Darkstalker and her mother with Animus Magic, Jerboa III eliminated Animus Magic indefinitely with an enchantment to prevent the casting of new spells forever. 52. Jerboa III had a friendship with the late Icewing Queen Glacier, which was inherited in part by Glacier's daughter, Queen Snowfall. 53. Queen Glacier actually had 3 daughters, Crystal, Snowfall, and Mink, from oldest to youngest. Not wishing them to fight over the throne, she named Snowfall her heir on the deathbed. 54. Scavengers are native to both continents, and Pyrian ones live in little dens. In reality, these can range from underground villages to sprawling medieval cities. On Pantala, they are also likely immune to the effects of the Other Mind and live in hiding. Some live in a massive sinkhole in the continent's center called the Abyss, the same sinkhole which the Silkwings hid in Book 11. 55. The UK and German publications of the first arc have different covers and dragon illustrations than the standard art and deviate from the dragon descriptions provided by the guides and plots. They were drawn by Max Meinzold. 56. According to Tui, and at the dismay of much of the fanbase, Kinkajou will never receive her own point of view book because she feels her character has already received enough growth and her arc is complete. 57. Ancient Nightwings had telepathic and precognitive abilities that were linked to Pyria's 3 moons. If a Nightwing were hatched under one full moon, they might have one of these abilities. Being hatched under two would result in both, and being hatched during the brightest night would result in extraordinary heightening to these abilities, as we see with Darkstalker. 58. Seawings and Nightwings can see in darkness and underwater. 59. Mudwings can hold their breaths for over an hour, and Seawings can stay underwater indefinitely. However, this can be exceedingly mentally challenging for them, so they never stay underwater for long. 60. Darkstalker is the only confirmed true king in Pyrian history, royalty being a matriarchy on both continents. However, the rest of society seems to contain equal rights for each gender. 61. Though Darkstalker was the only true king we know of, there were actually lots of kings on Pyria, as that title still went to whomever was married to the queen, but these kings didn't have any real power. King Char, the husband of Queen Oasis, is a good example of this. 62. According to Pyrian tradition, only a sister, daughter, or niece of the current queen can legally challenge them for the throne, the victor either keeping or taking the throne, and the loser dying, to eternally be forgotten. 63. The Eye of Onyx is an animus-touched amulet consisting of an onyx stone with copper wings. It was enchanted to kill the Sandwing Queen if she was unfit for the throne, but would not react this way to someone fit for ruling the tribe. 64. Because of this system with the Eye of Onyx, Sandwing royalty from the 3000th year after the Scorching and on until 5012 after the Scorching were not descended from the original royal line. 65. Jade Mountain is currently the tallest mountain on Pyria, and it is said that, from a certain angle, the twin peaks of the mountain look like a giant snake lunging out of the earth and upward. Great Devourer, anyone? Anyone? 66. Agate Mountain in the Claws of the Clouds mountain range used to be the tallest mountain on Pyria until it collapsed, leaving Jade Mountain as the tallest. Funnily enough, Jade and Agate are both gemstones, which are often confused due to their similar appearance. 67. Gladiator combat seems to have once been common on Pyria, but is now seen as archaic and barbaric. 68. Tui has recently stated that she especially wanted Wings of Fire to be a world in which LGBTQ people were treated no differently than others. 69. Tui has confirmed that transgender dragons do exist, but she doesn't want to write a point of view for one because she's worried about getting something wrong. 70. By the 10th anniversary of Wings of Fire next year, there will have released 29 Wings of Fire books, 15 in the main series, 4 winglets, 2 legends, 5 graphic novels, 1 workbook, 1 guidebook, and 1 coloring book. 71. On a slightly less related note, the Warrior series was written by Aaron Hunter, which was actually a team of writers including Tui. This is one of the reasons for the similarities between the two series and their fandoms. 72. Tui has expressed interest in taking a break from Wings of Fire after the culmination of Arc 3 and writing some other books instead. However, Wings of Fire has been receiving a large amount of Wings of Fire content lately, including a workbook and news of a future guidebook and coloring book, which would suggest that Scholastic is finally seeing the potential in the series, so it would be a pretty bad move to end the series permanently. 73. A common fan theory for Arc 4, and one I've supported myself, is that it may center around the next generation of dragonettes, being the children of some of the original protagonists or other young dragonettes. This could also fit in with some of the visions of the future seen in the series, such as Starflight's daughter. Peacemaker could also fit into this well. 74. The Great Ice Cliff is a massive wall made of ice defending the southern border of the Ice Kingdom. It fires icicle spears at any non-Icewings that attempt to fly over it, with the exception of hybrids with Icewing blood like Typhoon. 75. To display her growth in character and understanding, Queen Snowfall destroys the Great Ice Cliff at the end of the Dangerous Gift, so we won't be seeing any more of it again. 76. The character of Typhoon, a Seawing Icewing hybrid who made his debut in Darkness of Dragons, Book 10, was originally an original character of a fan who won a charity-based auction, and so their character was put into the storyline. Typhoon is currently one of two Sea-Wing Ice-Wing hybrids, the other being the ancient animus Prince Albatross of the Sea-Wings. 77. Despite their powerful and valuable status within all of the other tribes, the Skywings execute animus dragonets shortly after their hatching by throwing them down a cliff. They consider these abilities dangerous differences, and so they do not accept them. 78. Fire-Scales dragons are Skywings naturally born with too much fire, so much so that their very scales can reach temperatures that would scorch a normal dragon alive, and, if they're not careful, they do. These are also considered dangerous differences by the Skywings until the reign of Queen Ruby, who seems to be a pretty good queen and probably wouldn't put up with that. 79. The counterpart to Fire-Scales dragons are dragons with too little or no fire whatsoever. They are sometimes called fireless dragons by the fandom, but this is not an official name. They seem to exist when a dragonet in a twin Skywing egg sucks up the other dragonet's fire to add to their own, making them a Fire-Scales dragon and leaving the other one fireless. 80. Aside from dragons who might be enhanced by animus magic, Skywings are the fastest and most agile flyers on Pyria, although they may lose to the four-winged Pantalan tribes in maneuverability. 81. Ice-Wings have a sort of frost breath, which can freeze objects solid or give a dragon frostbite. It's described as one of the most painful experiences on Pyria. It's jokingly called freezing death breath on some occasions. 82. Rainwings can launch a sort of venom from their fangs, which burns through organic material. It is fatal if it enters through an open wound, the mouth, or the eyes. Either way, it is incredibly excruciating and only requires mere seconds to kill when fatal. 83. Because it can be launched at the victim and does not need to be injected into their bloodstream to do damage, Rainwing venom is technically a sort of acid. 84. Rainwings can also use their scales to camouflage, much like chameleons, or to represent their emotions. 85. Sea-Wings are the only modern Pyrian tribe that does not have any ability relating to the mouth. 86. Both Rainwings and Leafwings can perform photosynthesis, though the Leafwing variant seems to be stronger. 87. Select Leafwings are able to perform leaf speak, which allows them to communicate with and command plants to varying degrees based on their respective strength levels at the technique. Leaf speak and how powerful one is at it is also genetic, similarly to animus magic. 88. Rainwings and Silkwings are vegetarian. 89. Wings of Fire also has an original soundtrack composed by Gretchen Rotka, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Sadly, because it's not official, it's unlikely this will be used in the TV show. 90. The reason for the extensive censoring of violence and dialogue in the graphic novels was so that Scholastic could market the books toward younger audiences. Because of Clearsight's migration from Pyria to Pantala about 2,000 years before the main series, both Pyria and Pantala currently speak the same language. 92. The word Pyria likely originates with King Pyrrhus of Epirus, an Epirate king from what is now modern Greece, who, in the 3rd century BCE, fought multiple battles against the Roman Republic, and was considered second only to Alexander of Macedon in terms of generalship by the infamous Hannibal Barca of the Punic Wars. Though outnumbered, he won each one of these battles, but was eventually forced to withdraw due to the high cost of his own men in each battle, which is where the phrase Pyrrhic victory comes from. 93. There is no name for the planet which houses Pyria and Pantala, as those only refer to the continents themselves and not the planet as a whole. 94. There is an animated Wings of Fire TV show currently being worked on, with an unknown release date that will follow the plot of the books, likely with minor alterations and changes. The state of development is currently unknown, but its existence has been common knowledge for over a year. 95. The Wings of Fire TV show will air on Netflix with 10 episodes per season, with an unknown number of seasons. 96. The Wings of Fire TV show storyline is an adaptation of, but not canon to, the storyline of the books. 97. The showrunners are Dan Milano and Krista Starr, and Tui herself will be an executive producer along with Ava DuVernay, who worked on the recent film adaptation of A Wrinkle in Time. Yeah, I'm not exactly impressed, but hopefully they managed to surprise me. 98. Netflix unfortunately describes the Wings of Fire TV show as a family series, which means that things like violence and suggestive content will be toned down to around the level of the graphic novels or even lower. 99. The 10th anniversary of Wings of Fire takes place on July 1st, 2022. Thank you so much for watching, and please like if you enjoyed this, comment with anything you'd like to say, and subscribe for more Wings of Fire content. I haven't been putting out much lately, but there is more to come, and I'm so excited for Wings of Fire's future. Remember that every dragon has a story, and I'll see you in the next video.